Today I'll be playing and platinuming the iconic survival game, Green Hell. Set in the Amazon jungle, you must hunt, craft, and fight your way against various different animals, infections, and tribes, all whilst looking for your missing wife, Mia. And with no pinpoint location of where you are on the map, and having to solely rely on your watch for coordinates, shouldn't be too tough getting the platinum, right? I first started with the game's tutorial, just so I could get a feel for the game and its crafting mechanics. After crafting our first tool, we got the trophy caveman, and then also I made fire for starting the fire, and also you are not prepared for completing the game's tutorial. And with the tutorial done and out of the way, I then jumped into multiplayer with friends and got a taste of the game.
Oh, you got any water, bro?
Oh, fucking. Wait, what the fuck is that? He's not... Oh, there's a fucking tiger right there.
Oh my god.
I don't think I can take that. Oh, shit.
Bro, it's after me. What the f?
Oh, no.
Oh my god, he's the slowest motherfucker in the world. Go.
Where are we gonna go? Come on, supposed to go.
I'm dead.
Hopefully it eats him and doesn't keep coming for us.
Motherfucker, I just found you.
But after safely making it through our first night, we got the Welcome to the Jungle trophy. Also, I'm saved for saving the game for the first time. Fresh water for, of course, drinking fresh, clean water. And Home Sweet Home for making your first shelter. I don't need to sleep for getting your first stack of insomnia. Gotta catch them all for experiencing 12 different types of diseases and wounds. It tastes like chicken for consuming human meat. And finally, am I losing it for killing a sanity tribesman? Now it's time to move on to the game's story. Continuing on from the tutorial, we play as Jake Higgins, an anthropologist who has arrived in the Amazon jungle with his wife to research and study the Yabahuaca tribe and figure out why they are so healthy and immune to diseases. After a few days have passed at camp, we awaken to a letter from Mia saying she has left to contact the tribe. Everything was seeming pretty chill until Mia went missing.
Jake, please come in. Jake, please answer me.
Mia? What happened? Mia!
Well, this can't be good. After leaving camp to figure out what the hell is going on, we get greeted with this cutscene where Jake finds a tribe. And after noticing Jake, they chase him through the jungle to where he falls, and thus starting the game, Green Hell. After awakening somewhere in the jungle, we try to contact Mia and make our way towards the first village. After arriving at the camp, we find a burnt backpack containing a map and a recipe for ayahuasca. And after gathering the necessary ingredients, we take our first dose in hopes of unlocking some memories. Alright, here we go. Nice fat bowl of ayahuasca. Now the visions basically do two things. They show Jake where the next path is to the next area, and also give us a better understanding of why the hell we're here to begin with. With our next area unlocked, I make my way to the overturned Jeep, to where we get the fuel can to access the illegal gold mine. Now there are two important things here, obviously the grappling hook and also the gold sack that you will need for a later trophy. With the grappling hook and gold sack safely in my backpack, I started to make my way out of the illegal gold mine, and that is when I accidentally fell and got my first wound of the game on my leg. So I decided to quickly set up camp before I ended up dying, and that is when I remembered that I had maggots in my backpack that I found earlier on, and I was able to use them to treat my wound and get the trophy Improvise, Adapt and Survive. Now that we have the grappling hook, we can progress through to the next area and begin our second ritual. In this vision, Jake regains more of his memory as we learn that our research into the Yabahuaca tribe has led to a possible cure. The pharmaceutical company Amolu Corp was exploiting our research, and also Mia was sick. What is this? Medical history report. Oh, fuck. Well, that's not good. I then pushed forward to our next area of the map, which led us to Anaconda Island, to where I briefly set up camp, and whilst fishing for some dinner, I managed to get the Gotcha trophy for catching 9 different aquatic animals. Not long after that, I reached the airstrip, and after reconnecting the antenna, we managed to radio in for some help.
Copy. This is Manaus Control Tower. Over.
You can hear me? You can really hear me? I need help.
Affirmative. Keep calm now. I can hear you. You're going to be alright. Please give us your name and position. Over.
This is Jake Higgins. I'm on a makeshift airstrip in the middle of the jungle. I'm not sure where exactly.
Copy. That Jake Higgins? Again? Okay. I know where you are. Please hold. Over.
After throwing a little tantrum, we found the key to the back shed, which gave us some climbing gear and also a new portion of the map.
A map? Yes.
Now that we had the climbing gear, we were able to drop down into this cave where we found an oxygen tank, and we were able to dive to our next location. Before starting up the next ritual, I headed south. This is where we found the Amolu Corp tent, and this is where we were able to make the cure. And all we needed to do to make that was grab the infected blood sample, take a poison dart frog, and then by combining them in the machine, we got the trophy. I have it for making the cure.
This can't... Mia, I found it. Answer, please. I have a cure.
With the cure safely in my backpack, I started to make our way to the next ritual area, where we had our third trip. And this is where things went from bad to much worse, as we are being shown that we are the result of an outbreak that has killed millions of people. Holy shit. That's pretty grim. Not long after that, we reached the final village, and this is when I got the trophy Globe Trotter for travelling 64 kilometers. So after gathering the needed ingredients for the final ritual, this is when we got the opportunity to present the cure to Mia.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, mi amor.
And by completing the game and getting the good ending, we got the trophy Just Wait For Me, and also the trophy Greedy for completing the game with the gold pouch in your backpack. Sweet. Now we got to get the bad ending and complete the game on Green Hell difficulty. Before doing that, I did load up a previous save before we started the last ritual, took the cure from my backpack and just dropped it on the ground, and then basically head back to the final area to trigger the bad ending for another trophy.
Yes.
And the bad ending is pretty hectic.
You left her alone in the hospital, waiting to die. She begged you for mercy, and you left her.
After a couple of minutes of getting yelled at, the game finally gives us a cutscene where Jake is running through the jungle. He slips and falls, thus starting the game over again from the start. And with the bad ending complete, we got the trophy It's All Over again. Now this is where the fun really starts. One of the trophies in Green Hell requires you to play and complete the game on the Green Hell difficulty. And basically on this mode everything is on and active, and if you do die, your save file is deleted and you start all the way from the start. And this is how that went. Yup. Well, it's probably going to be one of many deaths. No, shit! No. Dude, I don't even have a weapon. No!
Damn it!
Bro! Fucking jump! Take. No. Oh. Oh no! Leave me alone! I don't like it. Make it stop. So after about an hour and a few more deaths, I did manage to pop a separate trophy, King of the Jungle, for killing a variety of different species. And then again, after about another hour, I did manage to get a clean run, and that is when I managed to complete the game and got our trophy, Green Hell. Oh my god, thank god for that. I then went into the game's survival mode to clean up any miscellaneous trophies that we had left over, like going back home for making a soup out of a tortoise's shell. I made it for surviving 10 days on King of the Jungle difficulty or higher. Keeper of the Flame for keeping a single campfire burning for 5 days on King of the Jungle difficulty. Making progress for reaching max level in any skill. Pacifist for surviving 10 days on King of the Jungle difficulty or higher without killing any animals or humans. Vegan for surviving 25 days solely on mushrooms and plant-based foods. And apparently drinking water counts for this challenge, so that's a plus. And finally, Mr. I Don't Feel Good for getting leeches, worms, a rash, a fever, poison, food poisoning, parasites, insomnia, dirt, and any wound, all at the same time. So I first made a shelter, just in case I needed to save the game in case anything went wrong, and then started by getting 2 stacks of insomnia. Okay, there's our 2 stacks. All we need to do now is sleep on the ground and hopefully get a worm on our arm. Alright, let's have a little look. Sweet, there's our worm. I then drank some dirty water to get parasites and then made a quick save. Next I tried to get the leeches on my right leg. Now this consisted of me running around for about 30 to 40 minutes, but I eventually managed to get them in the right spot. Then I walked sideways into an anthill to get the rash on my right arm. All I needed to do now was get a wound on my left leg. And what I did to do that was stand on a stingray that you can find located at the first camp you arrive in the story. With everything in the correct place, all I needed to do now was take some water from the lake to get dirty. And last but not least, after eating a small leaf pile from my backpack, we got food poisoning. And with all of that in effect at once, we got the Mr. I Don't Feel Good trophy. With those done and out of the way, I then moved on to the various collectible and findable items in the game, as there were a fair few trophies for doing so. So I started with the 60 locations that needed to be discovered, and after finding them, we received the Cartographer trophy. So the guide tells me it should be down here somewhere. Right, there it is. 60 locations done. Next up, do you want to play with a snowman trophy for finding all snowman packages? Now the first one can be located at the drug camp. The next one can be located at the airstrip at this little shack. And the last one can be located in this cave at 53 west, 30 south. Next up was librarian for reading 50 letters. Now naturally you will pop this normally playing through the game. I unfortunately missed a couple letters here and there, but after reading all 50, you will pop a trophy. Heading to this cave at the coordinates 51 west, 26 south, you will find these mushrooms and get another trophy for picking them. Heading to these coordinates shown here, you will find a reference to the movie Castaway, and just behind these rocks, you'll find Wilson. Wilson! Next up on our trophy list, we had Gardener for cultivating 12 different plants, and Iron Man for crafting and wearing a full armor set. So I first started with the Gardener achievement. Now this basically just consisted about an hour's worth of me running around the jungle, harvesting various different plants and fruits to get seeds to plant and grow. Here's a list of the different plants that you will need to find and harvest in order to grow them. Obviously I'm not going to include each and every one, otherwise we will be here forever. And with all of them planted and fully grown, we finally popped the trophy. Finally. Bro, that took way too long. And of course, lastly, we had Iron Man. Now, I won't go into full detail of how to make the armor, as there is a challenge later in the game that we need to complete. And I do go into full detail of how to, make the armor and everything in that section. But with the armor made and fully equipped, Iron Man was checked off the list. And here's where things start to get incredibly tough. With the story and the miscellaneous trophies done and out of the way, all we had to do now were the challenges, which include building and lighting a campfire, finding and building a raft, building a mighty camp, collecting meat from different animals, catching different water animal species, fighting a tribe to retrieve a radio, and finally the hardest of them all, the blacksmith challenge. So starting with the campfire challenge, after arriving at the location, started to harvest and get as many logs as I could, as quickly as I could. And after getting every log that we needed and lighting the campfire challenge was done. Next up was the raft challenge. Now this one was fairly simple, just like the campfire challenge. I just started harvesting as many logs and long sticks as quickly as I could. Now a lot of people said that they had trouble with finding coconuts in this part of the challenge. Basically the method that I used was looking up at the trees to find them rather than on the ground. And using this method I actually managed to find all of the coconuts in one go. Alright, only 2 more to go and that's done. With our last 2 coconuts found and added to the stack, the raft challenge was complete. Next up was the mighty camp. Now this one was a little bit more challenging than the last 2 challenges, just purely because of the amount of stuff that needed to be built, and also the charcoal and bamboo needed at the end for the filters. So I first started by placing down 2 campfires to get the charcoal for the filters, and then started to make a bed in order to speed up the process. And literally after completing the bed, we got a unexpected visitor. Oh shit. No bro, don't do it. Oh. Alright, let's do that all over again, I guess. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, bro. Dude, that scared the shit out of me. After getting tormented by the locals, I finally got a clean run, and we managed to complete the mighty camp, and that challenge was also done. Next was the hunter challenge. Now this is where I really started to struggle. There are 13 different animals that needed to be found and collected during this challenge. Now for the most part I was finding these animals fairly easily, except for the iguana. Now each attempt of this challenge was taking me roughly about an hour's time, and I had to do this about 6 times before I completed the challenge, as I kept making it to the end and dying multiple times. Oh bro. But after several hours of running around in the jungle hunting, I finally got a clean run and managed to get all of the animals, including the iguana. Now, the majority of you guys said that you can find the iguana at the starter camp location. And sure enough, after arriving, I finally found one. Oh my god, there it is, bro. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bro, don't you dare. Think I killed it? Come on, please. Oh, I think we got it. Yes! Oh my god. Yes! Let's go. Alright, dude, we got one more. And just like that, we found our last animal needed on the list. And the challenge was finally done. Oh, bro, I cannot wait for this to be over. I've put so many hours into this challenge, dude. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Next was the fishing challenge, and compared to the last challenge, this was a walk in the park. Other than this one crocodile that just would not leave me alone, I managed to find everything fairly easy. I do recommend heading over to the fishing dock as well, as there are already traps set up there where you can catch the majority of the fish that you are looking for. Right, I'm hoping there's a stingray along here somewhere. Oh, dude, no. Oh, I got him. Whew. I then remembered that there is a stingray that always spawns at the starter camp, and after heading on over, we found one, and the fisherman challenge was also completed. Alright, 2 more challenges to go. Next up was the radio challenge. Now this was fairly easy. All you had to do was head to 2 separate camps, fight some villagers, and retrieve the walkie-talkie and battery. And after doing so, the challenge was also complete, and we had our last challenge to go. For the final challenge, the blacksmith challenge, you must craft and wear a full metal set of armor and a metal spear. Now there are a few things that you are going to need to complete this challenge. Iron ore, which can be found in caves, or empty cans that can be found at abandoned locations. These will then be inserted into a forge until they are melted, and then make empty molds out of the mud bricks that will be turned into armored molds and then inserted into the forge to bake. Once the mold has baked, it can then be harvested into metal armored casts, and then by combining 3 metal armored casts, 1 banana leaf and 1 rope, you can make your metal armor. So I got stuck right into it, immediately making a pickaxe so we can mine the iron ore in as many caves as we could, and collecting as many empty cans as I could on the way. Also, make sure you collect the charcoal at each of these locations, as it will be needed later in the challenge. You will find empty cans and charcoal at 50 West 19 South at the fishing dock. Also 50 West and 27 South at the drug lab. And also in this cave at 53 West 16 South. Now all I needed to do was set up camp and find somewhere safe to do so. Now I tried the starting oasis, and unfortunately that turned out not to be so safe.
Oh, no.
I then thought I'd be smart and built at the back of the oasis near the waterfall, thinking that they would not be able to get me, and while I was grabbing resources, this happened. Bro, I can hear a tribesman. What the? Oh, what the fuck? Bro, he's underwater. Oh, fuck. Really?
Damn it!
Get out of here. Oh, bro. I then tried the small island at the fishing dock in the middle of the water, and that didn't work either. Oh, can you just leave me alone for 5 minutes, please? Oh, I'm stuck. Oh. Oh Oh, bro. And I also tried at the drug facility. And as you could guess, it didn't go well either. Bro, I swear. This time I tried something a little different. I tried to set up at the fishing dock itself. Only this time I made 3 mud furnaces and made sure they were ready to go and finished by the time I returned with the empty cans. And then off I went to each location, collecting as many cans and charcoal as I could, and then began building our forges. With the forges made, I immediately started making and baking armored molds, and that is when we made our first armored set, then our second, third, and fourth and final armor set. Now all we need to do is make the metal spear, and the platinum will be ours. Alright, this shouldn't be far off. Okay, we'll do a quick sleep, and then the mold should be ready, and we should be able to make this spear. Right, let's have a little look. Okay, there's our mold. Oh, dude. I can't wait, bro. My heart is pumping. And this should be it. I'll put this there. And there's the challenge is done. And now we should pop the platinum. Yes! Let's fucking go. Oh my god, bro. That absolutely sucked. No, I enjoyed the game. That was a bit more grindy than I expected. It's only a 5 out of 10 difficulty on the PSN trophies, but yeah, we got it done. I hope you did enjoy this video, and of course if you're new, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.